Sportsview London boxing news from the capital city here with Martin Murray. Mark, it's just been announced that you're going to fight Arthur Abraham in your fourth shot at a world title. How are you feeling about that news?
Yeah, absolutely buzzing. It's my fourth fight now at super middleweight. It's my fifth fight this year, and I didn't think it had come so quick. I thought I'd have had to push myself into manager position before I got the shot. This is a voluntary defence where Abraham's decided for me to fight him again, so we could have picked someone else, but he chose me. So, I was quite shocked when it happened, but obviously made up with the news. It's a tough fight. Obviously, it's hard to get the decision in Germany, but confidence. I'm more confident going into this one than any other me world title fight. And I really do feel like it's my time.
Yeah. With your move to Matchroom, and you've spoken before, you feel like this weight class moving up to 168 has always been where you're going to feel comfortable, Mike. Is this, as you said there, now the right place at the right time, this fight for you in your career?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, not only just the experience kind of thing, but I'm on a while now. Like you said, it's my fourth world title fight. I've not come away with one yet. I've not been the world champion yet, but I do feel it's my time, like I've just said. But it's not only the experience that's making me feel this confidence. It's the fact that I'm at this new weight. The 12 stone, the weight where I've always known was right for me, but the opportunities were at middleweight, so I've had to stay that way for them opportunities. But I'm now at my natural weight. I'm giving more in training. And I know I'll be able to deliver more come fight night. So, that's what's making me more excited about this and more confident than the others.
Most definitely. And did you feel, Mark, fighting at 160, taking those last few pounds off, always sort of drew the best from you, for want of a better word?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, my agent used to come in and see us, last couple of weeks in training, and he couldn't believe how things were flying on the pads. You know what I mean? How good we were looking, how strong. And then we get to fight night, and he was like, "I can't understand how you're not doing it. What you're doing on them pads? I know pads don't hit back, but what you're doing on them pads, how strong you're looking. Why are you not just folding these people? You know what I mean? The way you're looking, there's no way they should be standing up to that." And it was always the way it's issued. He used to see us when we was 12 stone, and then by the time I got down to 11.6, everything had gone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The power, the speed, the strength, it was just all taken away from me, making that way. Once I got under 11 stone 12, I could just feel it just drizzling away from me. So, now the fact that I'm at this state, I'm feeling stronger at it. And, it's not about me putting 8 pounds on, it's about me not taking 8 pounds off, which is, it's just making me feel great. And I know come fight night, that everything's going to be there.
Most definitely. And obviously Arthur Abraham, renowned for fighting in spurts and stealing rounds, mainly working at a minute, maybe a minute and a half a round. Do you and Oliver Harrison think that you can come up with a plan to apply the pressure to neutralise that in your fight in November?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Oliver's a great trainer, so he always comes up with great tactics and great ways of getting around certain people's styles and what they're good at and things like that. But we're trying to go in there, and we've obviously got to work on it, but we've got to go in there and focus on what we do well. I'll let Abraham worry about us. He does fight in bursts. He is getting old, so and he is struggling at the weight, I believe, which might explain why he doesn't do that much. Maybe he's tired of maybe he's worried about gassing out later on in the rounds. I don't know, but I mean, we're just going to go in there, obviously work up a plan, stay busy, pick work rate's the key here, and obviously not get caught with any of the big shots that he throws.
Most definitely. And you obviously going to have your famous Barmy arm out there, Mike. You're always well supported when you've travelled before. Obviously going to have the home crowd against you. Arthur Abraham's like a walking god in Germany, the decisions you've been on the end of previously, is that going to be in the back of your mind in some way, Mark?
No, to be honest with you, no, it's not. I mean, obviously, you know, the sperm and the Martinez, them things happen, but it's not. To be honest with you, this fight come along, you know, I've not been bothered what the purse is. I've not been bothered what the terms of the contract are. I've not been, I'm not bothered about where it's at. I'm just happy I've got the fight. I'm going to take this opportunity with both hands. I'm buzzing for it. I can't wait for it. Everything's going really well. And like I said earlier, I really do feel it's my time. You know, I think the time's right. Not only for myself, but for Arthur Abraham. You know, I think he's only 35, but, you know, he's been around the game a long time. And it'd be about me just coming in there and just making it feel like an old man when we fight.
Yeah. Were you encouraged? I know you know Paul Smith Jr. pretty well as a man. Were you encouraged with what? I know the last fight, Mark, was when we were in Monaco. It was the same fight as when you fought Bernardi, wasn't it? But did you have you watched that fight back at all? The second fight.
I'm on at the minute about round 8 or 9, I think. I was watching it the other day and I got interrupted. I've just not got back to it, but I obviously seen the first one and I'm 2/3 of the way through the second one now. So you know, he's doing a lot better on the second than he did the first. I don't know whether that's because he overlooked Paul the first time or what.
Yeah.
I don't know, or whether he had an off night, or whether Smigger had a good night, or a combination of both. I don't know, but you know what I mean. I will be looking. You know, I will be looking at both the fights. Not only them two, but you know, a number of his fights, and you know, picking up the best, the things he does good and the things he does bad, and you know, working on them all.
Most definitely. You've always been the middleweight. When you was a middleweight, you was in a red hot division, and now you come up to super middle now. I know you're not one to overlook people, Mark, but you look sort of down the line, should this come off, where you'd like to go from that point on?
Obviously, you dream about big unification fights and things like that. And I know that there's some big fights further down the line for me, if all goes well on November 21st. But you know, I know them in the back of my mind, but I've not given them any thoughts, obviously, because I've got a massive task in front of me first that I deal with, like, you know.
Joining Matchroom, Mark, how much has that added to your game now? I know Rodney Berman and Golden Gloves treated you well, and everything you were ever promised, you know, that was granted, but having the Sky platform and Eddie Hearn and that behind you now, how much does that add to your game now, Mark?
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, when I could have signed with Matchroom last year before I signed with Rodney and Golden Gloves, but you know, it wasn't the right deal for me at that time. You know, the Golden Gloves deal was a great deal. I knew it was leading into the Golovkin fight. I didn't mind going fighting away for, you know, in Monte Carlo for 3 fights, you know, just experiencing that side of things. And it was a right deal for me at that time. But when the Golovkin fight was over, I mean, I did have a deal in principle with Golden Gloves again, but it was ready for me to come home and start fighting. You know, locally. And Rodney knew that, and you know, me and Rodney had a good chat. We're still very close. He's a good bloke, Rodney, like.
Yeah.
And you know, the time it was right for me to come home. So I teamed up with Eddie. It was definitely the best move for me to do. You know, at that stage in my career. And Eddie was just. I agree with what Eddie said. You know, I'd never been built properly in the UK. I'd just not with a promoter was with and things like that. And it was just about me getting some a quick, you know, 3-4 fights or whatever under my belt. You know, which it did. They all come thick and fast. It was May, you know, it was June, July, and then early September. And, you know, this opportunity come up, so, you know, I've never been one to duck a fight and duck an opportunity, so it's just great, obviously, you know, like you said, the platform that Sky give you, you know, had I not been with Eddie Hearn, and match him. I doubt I'd have got this fight. Like I said earlier, I was surprised they gave it me for a voluntary, but I think it's only because the close relationship that Matchroom have with the Solans that I've got this fight. You know what I mean? So obviously, I'm happy to be on board with Matchroom, and it's always great fighting on Sky.
Just lastly, Mike, how do you take that from Arthur Abraham's point of view, that on a voluntary defence he'd pick, someone with your calibre and experience at world level that's gone, granted, £8 lower, but 11 rounds with the most fearsome fighter on the planet? Do you think maybe he might be overlooking you slightly?
No, I mean, I hope he is. I do hope he is, but I can't see how he will do, to be honest here. And if he does, I think he's a bit stupid. But we had the press conference on Wednesday in Germany. He said some good things. He said all the right things, and I can kind of relate to him what he was saying. He was saying that I'm getting at the stage in my career where I've not got long left. He admitted it himself, and I want to be in the big fights where I can. And he said as well that he needs this type of fight to raise his own game, because we know that the tough fight is something he can properly get into and focus on. So he's using it. He's using it for himself as well, to try and pick his own game up. Because, I mean, to be honest, barring me, I don't know who else he could. Well, there is other people out there, but I don't know what other fight would have interested the German public. Barring the unification, I don't think what fight would have interested the German public, and obviously the UK. Which obviously I've got. I've got history with Sat One in Germany with Sturm, and obviously none over there in England and that in the UK. So I think the fight not only makes sense from his point of view, like him picking his game up, but it makes sense from a viewing point of view, like, you know what I mean. So I think it's a mixture of both that made him pick this fight.